name MJ, but everybody else called me Duda. And like one thing that my grandma taught me is like always be found doing something good. Like just the little things matter. And I'm thankful for that because I use those things and I think about them things every day.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
My name is Jean, and last name Sutton, and that's her name and her maiden her maiden name. So
okay,
I was the honorary Jean Sutton.
Okay, that's what's up. Is there something else that she taught you?
She was just super nice.
Gotcha.
She was always nice.
All right, appreciate you.
My name is Akila. I didn't know her personally, but I know her daughter. And if she's any extension of her daughter, I'm sure she was a wonderful person. But I just want to say to the family to hold strong. Unfortunately, I'm part of that club with losing a parent, but I just want to let you know it doesn't get easier, but I mean, you never get over it, but it does get easier to live and to breathe again. So I just want to say, family, hold strong and stay fast in the Lord, and that's it.
I'm Sharice. That was my mother-in-law by marriage. I was married to Rodney for many years. We had children. And when I tell you that my mother-in-law was a mother-in-law, more like a mom, she was the epitome of a woman that had been called and had God's hand placed on her life. She was there through all of our ups and our downs. She gave me sound guidance. She never, ever, ever got in our business, but she was there as a young woman, because Rodney and I was married when we were young, and as a young woman, she was able to give me sound advice and things that a young woman would need to know. I've lived with them. My sister-in-laws, I was still her daughter-in-law, and they are still my sister-in-laws, and I was still her daughter-in-law, and she was still my mother-in-law. It doesn't matter where life took me, she was that. I can call her, she was a confidant, and I loved her. We both suffered from breast cancer. We were both breast cancer survivors, and then when we lost Rodney and I lost our son, me and Mom, even earlier, became prayer warriors together. And there's nothing greater than a bond of prayer. Just want the family to know, Dookies and my husband, that I love y'all. And ain't nothing y'all can do about it.
My name is Gracie Bolden. Flotie and I have been friends for over 40 years. We've baked together, we've laughed together, and we've cried together. She was a very, very dear friend. And I am going to miss her mostly. Cut that part out.
All right. Just keep talking, love.
Okay, you can edit that?
Yes, ma'am, I got you. Come on, you're fine.
I am going to miss her. We had a trip planned this coming October for Vegas, but it wasn't meant to be.
Can you tell me some real funny moment that you had, Miss Jean?
Some of them I can't tell, really. Not on this.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, how you doing, everybody? My name is Martise. Jean, she's one of my aunties. She's a great woman, a great lady. She's been an inspiration and been a good woman to me my whole life. I've been knowing her and going out there to see her every year since I was a boy, and I'm 37 years old now. And every Thanksgiving, couldn't wait to go over her house. And we go in that basement and play, run all the way to the third top floor, all the way to the basement, go on the middle floor, go holler at Auntie Jean to the top, where you see my grandma Emma. And them a whole lot of memories, and I miss both of them women. And they taught me how to stay in the kitchen and cook as a man and know how to feed yourself. So I never need a woman to cook for me, because one thing I will say that, I can cook, and the women love to eat, and I do too. And one thing I'm gonna say though, you will be truly missed, Auntie, and I love you. You're a blessing. Tell my mom, my my grandma Cleo, my father Jimmy, and everyone. I say hello. I'll see you when I get there. Rest in peace, Auntie. I love you, baby.
My name is DeQuincy Hamlet. I'm a friend of her sons, Claude, Rodney. I just want to say Miss McKay was such a nice lady. She used to always let us come hang out at her house, play ping pong, and fed us monstercholi and the pound cakes. But more importantly, she allowed us to be respectful young men in her house. She insisted on that, and she was a God-fearing lady. And my condolences to the family, and that was a great life lesson she taught us about being a good mom and teach us how to be respectful young men while we were in her house. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Gregory Watkins, and this is my wife Carol. We've been friends, Claude McKay and McKay's for maybe over 20 years now. You know, man, we hope they get through this the best they can. We kind of understand what it is to lose a loved one. Man, we want you to know that we truly are in your corner. If you need anything, Rob, Kathy, Cynthia, who am I missing? Rob, Kathy, Cynthia. So, man, give us a call anytime. You know, we're always there, like we're always been. You know, love you and stay strong.
All right.
You've always been a favorite of your mom's, and she was such a sweet person. Always made us welcome. I enjoyed my conversations with her. But take care, and we'll see you all soon.
My name is Sakina, and one thing I learned from Auntie is God first and family right after. My name is Shantae. I learned from my aunties that we are fighters, warriors, and keep God first. I love my family. Thank you guys. Support each other. Bye.
Hi, Tracy Frazier. Jean was my bonus mom. And I just want to thank you guys once again for allowing her to love us just as much as we love her. And just stay strong, because Jean was a strong person. So she led by example, so we have to take that into stride. Not take it into stride, but just take that and just follow her lead. Love you guys, and we'll see you in the summertime.
Right. Your name and something about Miss Jean.
Okay. My name is Nicole, and I am the best friend of Crystal. And this is just some words I can think about for Auntie Jean. Even thinking of how that came to be when I met her at 11 years old. Everyone was calling her Jean, so I did. And then one day, probably 20 years later, she was like, "It's Auntie Jean," and I was like, "Okay, you're right." I felt so part of the family after 20 years because she told me that. But what I will remember is the things that were in her standing ovation tribute. 95% of them I heard, and I can attest to her saying it about her work life, about her prayer life. I witnessed that ability to just jump into prayer in the middle of chaos, and she could just focus and hone in on what was most important, which was calling God into that atmosphere, because we needed him. But she was just able to do what needed to be done. Just an amazing woman in her devotion, in what she believed in, and how she reared her family. So much about her life I already knew because she talked about it. She lived the life and talked about what she wanted here and when she was gone. So she prepared my best friend and her siblings and her family very well for life without her by giving so much of herself to them while here. She will be so tremendously missed. But as someone said today, we're just gonna look around and see remnants of her legacy. Miss Clotilde McKay.
I'm Kristen. I'm really the favorite granddaughter. She know that. I just want to say to my bestie, it was always love. I walk in the house, bestie, she's screaming right back, "Hey, bestie." Like, that was just my best friend. Like, I know I could call her. She might speak her mind. One thing my grandma was always gonna do was speak her mind, whether you wanted to hear it or not. she always did that for me, and every single time I needed it. I didn't know I needed it until I realized a couple days later, like, oh yeah, it's making sense. A couple years, but my grandma always taught me lessons, everything that like still stuck with me to this day. And it's so much that she said to me that I would never forget, and they just constantly repeat in my head. And like honestly, that's just my bestie. Like I would never ask, these last 20 years of my life, I would never ask for a better grandmother, a better best friend, a better anything. And that was really my whole heart. We had matching shirts, matching shoes. I helped her pick out her wigs. Like, that was my bestie, and I love you, bestie, till forever. Like, that did us part, but I still love you.
My name is Jason Brown, aka Baby McKay. I wanted to say that Mama C, which I call her, gave me an opportunity to have a family. Under the circumstances, we were brought together in a different type of, a different type of way, and she accepted me as her family, and that really made me feel good. She told me, she called me her son after LC passed. She said I was the baby boy, and I've never felt like that. And the fact that she raised my brother and my sisters to be as giving and as understanding as they are, and how they raised me from 18 to 43, I really appreciate the kids that she raised to be so willing to give everything they have to other people. Those are some really good people, and they just happen to be my brothers and sisters. So I really want to thank her from a heavenly thank you to Mama C for taking me in and allowing me to wake up in the morning in a house with a mother, a father, and siblings. That was really important to me, and it really completed my life, and there's nothing that I could do to repay you for that. And I love you, I love my brothers and sisters, and I commend them for being such substantial people. I love y'all, and Mama C, we're gonna miss you forever. Church.